right? So a little love and cooking there. So, cheers, everybody. Cheers. Cheers to loving life and enjoying great food. We don't have one for you. You're on the phone. Oh, you're good. The real chef knows where to go. All right. That's what it's about. It's really so much about that. So what I've done here, we're going to sear this on one side and let that render out, okay? And to that, we're going to add aromatics, all right? Everybody know this? Cinnamon bark, allspice, star anise, all right? A little less, maybe too strong. All right, do that. Can you smell that already? It started to really make that beautiful perfume. Gorgeous flavors, right? Again, season as you go, always important. Make sure all those flavors come out. You can see how the risotto, all we did was really here, if you can look, we just added nothing to cover, and then you let it cook down. Do that 3 times. Let it cover, let it cook down. All right? Now, turn this over, like that. And what I've done here is taken ginger. We're going to bury this in this wonderful pile of ginger to give it this wonderful flavor.
Did you coat the pan with butter or olive oil?
A little bit of olive oil. Unless you use my green pans, and it does not require any fat whatsoever. This is true. This is ceramic cookware available on HSN. Alright, we got a little shallots. Like that. Alright, we're going to let that cook down a little bit. And then Matt, if you can just grab that, put that in the oven, let that sear. I'm going to take that back to the oven. Alright? And while that's roasting in the oven for about 14, 15 minutes, when that comes out, even be better. You're going to have all those aromatics. I learned this technique actually. I was traveling through Asia, and I was at a Szechuan restaurant, and I had this duck, or chicken actually, roasted in Szechuan peppers. It was buried in these Szechuan peppers in a great casserole. So one of the things that I love to do is travel and learn from all the different cultures. You know, one thing also about being an American chef is that we have, and especially in New York City, we have, I mean, there's everything. You can call up and get, you know, whatever food you want, you know, from, and almost, I guess, maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure if you can get food from, there's maybe a couple countries we can't get food from, but that one is, maybe you'd have to wait at this point, right? Yes. But, you know, the idea is that, you know, it's such, there's so much to pull from. There's so much about all the things that we have here. So I love that part about cooking. So, having said that, part of this dish is about the peas and the carrots, okay? So what I have here is all these beautiful heirloom carrots, all right? And I love cooking these because, first of all, in season, they're so delicious and so wonderful. And I love all the different styles. We have the purple carrot, we have a beautiful white carrot, okay? All grown locally. Again, a very big part of what I try to do, here. We also have gorgeous peas as well, sugar snaps. I love this time of year because they're really all coming in so fresh and delicious. All right, so I have some nice snow peas as well.
Do you farmers market shop? Do you guys?
Yeah, we do actually go to Union Square Market. Yeah, a lot. Union Square, the restaurant's right there.
You see sometimes the chef cart, you know, they're stacked up with.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very important. Okay, a little bit of shallot, a little bit of gorgonzola as well, and some olive oil, pepper, and we let that all cook together. Okay, so there's sort of a theme here, right? And kind of taken right from bird's eye, right out of the freezer. Peas and carrots, right? It's like, Mom, I don't want to eat peas and carrots again. Really, I'm not eating that. Well, this is a whole different level of it, you know. And the idea is that we get to try all these different flavors. Now, back to the risotto. As we have our duck going, we have our confit ready, we have our peas and carrots going, right? The whole complete meal, right? Our rice, our gorgeous set, and Chef Matt here has that going beautifully. And again, you want to simmer, and the whole idea of a risotto, if you can see as it simmers there, can everybody see that? What you're doing is the short grain rice is full of starch. It has starch. And starch is, in this case, a nice starch. And the idea is that we want to bring that starch out of the rice to create the sauce that binds itself around the rice. So in other words, we're making a carrot sauce around the risotto by using the starch from the rice. Okay? This is very different than a long grain rice. A long grain rice is like a pilaf, and you don't want it to stick. It's all about pilafs are all about allowing the rice to be flaky and, you know, whatever. I'm not a big pilaf fan. But this is a gorgeous way to cook. Give me a bowl of risotto any day. Call that the Italian side of me, which is, what can I say? It's always the better half, right?
Yes.
I won't say which half, but I'll say it's the better half. But it's always a good half, right? Any Italians here? Yes? All right. All right. They tied in England. They tied England. Who did they tie the other day? They didn't look so good. So, Spain, I think they played. All right. Now, very important. We're getting to that point where we're just going to finish this. We're going to do what the Italians call the blessing. When I was traveling through Italy, and I was just a wee lad, going through these restaurants along the countryside, and I had about almost a year of going through these to one restaurant to learn and to absorb and to steal whatever I could steal. I mean, to learn whatever I could take. And I was going to these little restaurants, and it always seemed like, you know, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I was definitely a lot skinnier. I was skinnier. Not as plump and happy as I am now, but I would show up at these restaurants, you know, 20 years old, and every time I would seem like the mama would always bring out a risotto. So if you've been to those little countryside restaurants in Italy, there's always a mama in the kitchen cooking, and somehow or another I always wound with a bowl of risotto in front of me, and I would always go, wow, why is this so delicious? How could it be so good? How do they make this rice taste so delicious? Well, I'm going to show you here in a minute, and why it is so delicious and why it's so wonderful. All right, we got ready for the blessing? All right. So now, this is the blessing. You turn off the heat. Right? We have that nice, okay? The other thing is my favorite risottos are risottos from Venezia. And in Venezia they call it alla onda. And alla onda means the wave. So whenever you're cooking a risotto, it should be able to flip like this in the pan. Alla onda, right? You see the wave? I don't mean this, you know. So you can do that if you want. Right? Or no, I'm just kidding. Usually I make everybody do it. But you know, you're not drunk enough yet. Because you would. I know you would, right? Alright, now this is the blessing. So I was always wondering why it tastes so good. Now this is in the American way. Right? And this is the Italian way. What? Okay, you really? Alright. Oh, come on. We're just having fun. This is hypothetical, but you don't have to put that much in. I'm just kidding, but I'm going to show you how good it really is. You know, people always ask me, well, what would be your last meal? And if you were on death row, I have no idea why I get that asked. Reporters ask me that all the time, and I'm like, I don't want to think about that. But usually this could be one of those dishes because who cares at that point, right? Put in more butter, right? So, that is the Parmesan cheese covering. Thank you, sir. But again, always with the heat off. Always with, there's never enough of the blessing as far as I'm concerned. Right? Right?
Now why with the heat off?
Because I don't want the cheese to stick to the bottom. I only want to use I don't want the risotto to overcook. I'm really too